Well, here's why Method Man went through so much turmoil with Def Jam. Method Man thought, in his estimation, and at the time, Method Man was the most noticeable character with personality and everything. But like when the 2000s hit and they were starting to make that shift and old faces are leaving, Leor's leaving, and a whole new staff is coming in. L.A. Reid's coming in. I think this is the time when they had Shakir Stewart coming in and all that, and all these changes at Def Jam. His loyalty was with people who weren't there, who used to be there. It's like you got a job and you grew up and you since you've been working there, you friends and you cool with the people that used to work there, and now there's some at another office at another place, and they got all these new people at the company you still work for, and you basically don't deal with them at all and just completely being an a-hole. Well, that's what happened to Meth. He had ticked so many people off that by the time he did to Cal 3, the prequel, he had zero to no budget for that album. They didn't even want to put the album out. They just wanted to drop it, put it out there to shut him up and just get Method Man out of their hair. That was probably one of his worst albums. Then he put out one of his best albums he did when Jay-Z was the president, and he didn't get pushed at all. And he couldn't believe it, but that came not from Jay, of course, that came from the actual fact that there was no budget money because Jay-Z basically didn't spent it all on himself. So all his projects that came out, they weren't even getting a video. Most of them weren't getting anything. And like Mel said, he's like, I burned a lot of bridges at Def Jam. He said, I had a lot of love for the company because I came in when I was young, but he had been there for so many years when everybody changed and everything was going crazy. He didn't know how to handle it. He's like, I hung on to people that were still there and alienated myself away from the new people. And I had that small circle. The bigger circle around it, none of them messed with him. And then that small circle he messed with, there was nothing they could do about it. So they couldn't even deal with Meth either. So now he's a man on the island by himself. He's like, this before Jay-Z even got there. It was a shift. I didn't know how to handle it. I should have stayed true to myself and been myself, but I didn't. And I was riding to a lot of people at Def Jam. There were some people up there that deserved it, but I was riding to a lot of people who did not deserve it, and I apologize for that big time. So Meth went on to talk about how that went, and back in 2006, he parted ways with Def Jam, and it's been the best thing for him. And when they look back on Def Jam, they be like, "Oh man, those were the days." It's like days like we had Benny Siegel, Kanye West, Joe Budden, DMX, Ja Rule, Jay Z, Method Man, and Redman. He was like, man. He was like, those were the days. He's like, man, we had Ludacris too. We was a super team. But this is the point I'm bringing up. Method Man was a staple there, just like Redman. Meth was there in 91. I mean, Red was there in 91. Meth came in 94. But the Shakir Stewart situation was not a nice one, of course. The Leor situation didn't work out for them. Uh, I mean, not Leor, but L.A. Reid. Sorry about that. L.A. Reid situation didn't work for him. Plus, it was a bunch of people in the staff that did not like Meth's attitude. Meth got a very nasty attitude when he wants to be an a-hole. He's the type that only feels better when everybody else is pissed off too. He's one of those personalities. If he's in a stank mood, he gonna make sure everybody in that room is in a stank mood with him, and don't care what anybody else thinks about it. That was back then. I don't know how it is now, but Meth used to do that all the time. The Wu Tang know how to deal with him when he gets in this situation. He'll be ticked off about one thing, one little small thing that he couldn't let go, and it would dominate the entire rest of the day. And then his negative BS would just, but they got used to it because they used to Meth. So they say, well, that's just Meth. But now I guess, when you get older, you get clarity. You're above all the petty stuff or the ridiculous. You just say, ah, forget that. And you move on. So, with that being said, we're moving on. Hope y'all have a blessed day. I'm going to try to get my day going. And I'll holler at y'all later.